We've got these great AI technologies that are coming up that are just brilliant at giving me a massive dopamine hit by hitting the magic button that then the sycophantic bot comes and tells me how wise and smart I am to even ask such a question, And so, of course, these businesses are blowing up right now because they're really effective at getting our attention.
Explain to people that aren't familiar with what Sundance is.
Yeah, I mean, it's somewhat comical to try to articulate something that experiential in this kind of a modality, right? But hey, that's who we are in this generation, and in a sense, it's somewhat emblematic of the challenges of my unique journey of being someone who my comfort zone is making sense of complicated things and being smart enough to put words to it. And I have committed myself to a path of that is very not about mental understanding of things. That is much more about full-bodied experience and recognition of things without needing to put a symbolic association with it. So nevertheless, here we are asking a question so we can get just down to like basic brass tacks, right? This is a traditional ceremony from the Lakota people, the North American, indigenous tribes, and what would likely be considered probably their most important annual ceremony. And it's a big ceremony. It takes a lot of people, a lot of work to get it off the ground. There's a lot of moving parts, and that goes into the power that's experienced at a Sundance. But it's an annual prayer of renewal for the community. It is a prayer for the continuation of life. And there are many elements that go into embodying that and making it so meaningful for the people.
What did it feel like this year for you?
Beautiful. I mean, participating, supporting the prayer like you did this year. And, I've done that for many years before I started supporting it more close in the arbor. Every year, it makes a little more sense, if it ever makes sense, but the relationship gets deeper. And my relationship with the people. So this year was unique for me in that this was my 5th year dancing in Colombia. So I completed my first 4-year cycle, as they say. And so it's traditional to offer a wopila, which is a give back to the community for supporting me in the efforts over the years. So I hosted a feast, I got to bring some gifts and infrastructure for the camp and really get to celebrate, completed one lap around. So I was, primarily kind of basking in that experience of really feeling all the benefit that I had received by being a part of this really dear community to me, putting that to words and sharing back with them. And so I was very much in a giving position, and that made the dance really beautiful for me.
Hey, I just wanted to jump in here and give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's podcast, B Micro, the easiest way to sneak vegetables into any meal. Due to soil depletion, GMOs, and monocropping, Americans are not getting enough nutrients. So in 2018, I founded B Micro, the first freeze-dried microgreens company in the US to help Americans get more concentrated natural nutrients into their diet. Microgreens are a phase in the plant's life when they're 14 days old and naturally the most concentrated in vitamins, minerals, nutrients, all the good things that we need. Our microgreens are grown here in the US in soil in a greenhouse. They're certified USDA organic and regenerative organic. We grow, wash, and freeze dry them to extend their 1-week shelf life to over 1 year, allowing us to ship anywhere in the US without the worry of spoilage. We have 2 flavors, broccoli, backed by over 2,000 studies on sulforaphane and its powerful detox benefits, and a blend of red cabbage, radish, and broccoli, the most potent detox formula we've tested, offering you the most bang for your buck. Easily sneak these microgreens in any meal. Eggs, smoothies, pizza, pasta, even your kids' mac and cheese, you can't even taste it. Use code STEVE15 to save at bmicro.farm.
Now, is there an aspect to the dance where you're without food and drink?
Yeah, that's traditionally, there's lots of variations, but this is the way I know, but the traditional way to participate and get the benefits of it is to fast. So no food, no water for the 4 days of the dance.
And then you're doing a sweat at the beginning of each day and the end of each day?
Yeah, before the sun comes up,
Mm-hmm.
every morning, and then after the sun goes down every evening.
So for me, I would think, I'm like, okay, if I were to do that, that sounds like the hardest part, being without water and then maybe without food and then just maybe not as what's the hardest part for maybe somebody in their first year versus what's the hardest part when you're in your fifth year?
Yeah. I just have to zoom out for a second and just kind of acknowledge the comical nature of talking about the Sundance ceremony in a podcast
Mm-hmm.
as a white guy, like this traditional Native American sacred thing that I'm blessed to even have the opportunity to be around.
Same.
Now I'm being asked to characterize it. So I just want to acknowledge that I'm merely a participant in this world, learning with as much humility as I can demonstrate.
Of course.
I would say my ancestry lends me to be more arrogant about these things than normal. So please forgive me for the ways that I am conveying these things. And please take everything I have with a nice big white grain of salt.
Thank you. You're forgiven. I hope you can forgive yourself too.
Yeah, well, that may be the hardest part.
For
Aaron.
sure. It's hard.
That might be the answer to your question is allowing myself to just be me and forgive myself. But yeah, I'd say the hardest part is being present. We live in a world of distractions, of really effective distractions. And the market thrives on its ability to distract, right? We've got these great AI technologies that are coming up that are just brilliant at giving me a massive dopamine hit by hitting the magic button that then the sycophantic bot comes and tells me how wise and smart I am to even ask such a question, And so, of course, these businesses are blowing up right now because they're really effective at getting our attention. And, try to crowbar a smartphone out of anyone's hands these days, and you'll meet the the real person beneath them. So this is why I love to go to these places. This is why I spend, 12 plus weeks in a tent a year, is because most of these places don't have cell phone service, with Starlink, that's probably nearing the end of that world too. But to be able to be in a place where I don't have a cell phone in my pocket for over a week is pretty glorious. And I'm a person that already is sold on digital detox and the importance of that and the value of it. And it's hard for me to get away. There's parts I want to hike up the hill and I need to check in with my clients. I need to do all the things. But the way these containers are set up is it's really hard. And so it's incredibly beneficial to get that digital detox. And it is rare and it's probably going to continue to be harder. So the difficult thing of that, and then even once you let go of the smartphone, there's, I want to talk to my friend about this thing. We're fasting. I want to talk about food. My stomach's growling. What restaurant are we going to go to when we get out of here if we survive, And all of the things in my life that aren't the most important thing is, in a way, I assume, how my mind is kind of trained, how it's entrained, right? And so choosing to let go of that and just focus on this very simple thing, this prayer for life, which is the Sundance, is that's the meditation practice. It's coming back to center, letting go of these distractions and coming back.